Welcome everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for this special explainer. Today, we're taking a deep, highly focused dive into the source material behind an absolute masterpiece of 1990s animation. We are looking at a legendary epic that beautifully bridges ancient mythology with some truly groundbreaking cinematic artistry. If you're someone who appreciates incredible storytelling, stunning visuals, and fascinating production histories, you are definitely in for a real treat today. So, let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. $13 million. Back in 1992, that was a truly staggering budget for an animated feature. But you have to understand, this wasn't just any regular cartoon. This was the budget required to bring one of the most unique, ambitious, and cross-cultural animated films of the entire decade to life. Why does this matter? Well, it represented a massive financial risk. We're talking about an unprecedented scale for a passion project that set out to adapt an ancient epic using the absolute highest quality of traditional animation available at the time.
Section 1. Historical Indo-Japanese Animation, a historic collaboration. To really appreciate this film, we've got to look at its origins as a massive celebration of Indo-Japanese diplomatic relations.
Now, what's genuinely mind-blowing here is the sheer caliber of international talent it took to pull this whole thing off. You've got Japanese director Yugo Sako teaming up with the legendary Indian animator Ram Mohan. The original music, composed by the acclaimed Vanvas, and the voice casts are just wild. The Hindi version featured Arun Govil, who was already famous for playing Rama on television. But wait for it, the localized English dub actually featured heavyweights like Bryan Cranston, yes, literally Walter White himself, voicing Prince Rama, right alongside the iconic James Earl Jones providing the narration. It's just a surreal, mind-blowing bridge of global talent.
Section 2. Early Life of Rama. The hero emerges. Our story kicks off in Ayodhya, where a noble protagonist emerges, about to be called to a grand destiny.
Rama's heroism gets tested almost immediately. A powerful sage named Vishwamitra actually seeks out the young prince because terrifying demons are attacking the peaceful sages out in the forest. So Rama, joined by his fiercely loyal brother Lakshmana, steps right up to the challenge. And they face some incredible early trials. Rama single-handedly defeats a massive giant demoness named Tadaka using a specially chanced arrow. After that, he completely repels her vengeful, fire-breathing son, Maricha. In return for their unbelievable bravery in protecting the forest, sage Vishwamitra honors the brothers with these incredibly powerful divine weapons.
The narrative then takes this romantic yet totally triumphant turn at the kingdom of Mithila during a grand ceremony called a Swayamvar. The challenge to win the hand of the beautiful Princess Sita is to lift a remarkably heavy, divine bow. Countless arrogant kings try and fail. But you see, brute strength just wasn't enough. It explicitly required a humble and kind man to lift it. Rama's profound humility and kind heart allowed him to effortlessly lift the bow, fulfilling the prophecy and winning Princess Sita's hand in a joyous marriage.
Section 3. Exile and Abduction of Sita, the 14-year exile. Unfortunately, a 14-year exile abruptly cuts those joyous times short.
Let's move along and see how this builds, because the central conflict rapidly escalates from here. For 10 whole years, Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana live peacefully in the forest. But then, a demoness named Surpanakha, disguised as a beautiful woman, attacks them and ends up getting wounded by Lakshmana. Well, she just so happens to be the sister of Ravana, the terrifying demon king of Lanka. Seeking revenge, Ravana uses the demon Maricha, who's disguised as a magical golden deer, to lure Rama and Lakshmana away. In their absence, Ravana disguises himself as an old sage, tricks Sita, and tragically abducts her, flying her away in his magical chariot.
Section 4. The Search for Sita, the Desperate Quest. Following a devastating loss, Rama begins a desperate, epic quest. Returning to find his home empty and flowers scattered on the ground, Rama is utterly devastated. After witnessing the heartbreaking death of their brave vulture friend Jatayu, who was fatally wounded trying to save Sita, Rama channels his immense grief into action. The scale of Rama's journey here is sequential and incredibly vast. First up, he gets swallowed by a cursed mountain demon, whom he defeats, breaking a curse and gaining vital directions. Next, he allies with the exiled Vanara warrior Sugriva, helping him reclaim his kingdom in exchange for an army. Then, the incredible flying monkey Hanuman journeys to Lanka, setting the city ablaze, but not before finding Sita and giving her Rama's ring to prove that help is indeed coming. Finally, in an absolute miracle of engineering and divine blessing, Rama's army builds a massive stone bridge straight across the ocean to reach Lanka.
Section 5. The War of Lanka.
The final battle looms. The time for searching is officially over, and the final battle looms.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core moral difference between our hero and our villain right before the inevitable clash. Think about it. Even after everything he's been through, Rama offers a chance for peace. He sends an envoy, offering to spare the lives of thousands of soldiers on both sides if Ravana simply returned Sita. Ravana's response? He laughs. He is completely blinded by bloodthirsty arrogance and eagerly chooses war. This just perfectly highlights that Rama fights only out of absolute necessity, while Ravana fights out of sheer, unadulterated ego.
Once the war begins, it is brutal. It's filled with extreme highs and lows. But through it all, Rama maintains his strict morality. He actually insists on giving proper funeral rites to the fallen soldiers of both armies, stating everyone deserves peace and death. As the fighting rages, Rama takes down Ravana's colossal brother Kumbhakarna. The psychological warfare is just as heavy too. Ravana's son Indrajit creates this horrifying magical illusion of killing Sita right in front of Rama. And when Lakshmana is gravely wounded by Indrajit, Hanuman performs an ultimate feat of strength. He literally flies to the Himalayas and brings back an entire mountain just to deliver the life-saving Sanjivani herb.
Section 6. Rama vs. Ravana, the final showdown. The energy shifts massively as we reach the final showdown.
With his armies decimated and his generals fallen, Ravana finally steps onto the battlefield himself. Take a second to consider the sheer physical mismatch we're looking at here. Ravana steps out, heavily armored, wielding a massive, brutal sword, just exuding this terrifying dark power. Rama, on the other hand, stands before him lightly armed, wearing simple, old clothes from his years in exile with his long hair flowing. It begs the question, how can agility and righteousness possibly stand up against such overwhelming, armored brute strength? The clash is immediate, and it is exhausting. Their swords strike repeatedly. Ravana uses his immense physical power to push Rama into the air, smashing him into walls, trying to overpower him with sheer brute force. But Rama is incredible here. He uses brilliant defensive maneuvers, dodging Ravana's fatal blows by mere inches, leaping dynamically out of the way. In a stunning moment of tactical brilliance, Rama manages to leap up and actually slice Ravana's head right off his shoulders. For a brief second, it really seems like the war is over.
But wow, that relief is shattered instantly. In a terrifying, jaw-dropping transformation, Ravana doesn't die. Instead, his body begins to regenerate and multiply. He grows to an unimaginable, monstrous size, sprouting 10 horrifying heads and 6 massive arms right before Rama's eyes. The scale of the threat multiplies exponentially, sending a shockwave of absolute fear through Rama's watching allies.
So the crucial point is that this is no longer just a sword fight. It becomes a completely chaotic escalation of divine magic and unimaginable weaponry. The giant Ravana fires explosive arrows that blast Rama into the air, injuring him severely. As Rama struggles on the ground, Ravana throws flying spears and conjures this deadly ring of fire that completely traps the wounded prince. In this desperate, seemingly hopeless moment, Rama prays, and a brilliantly glowing divine chakra finally presents itself, cutting right through the flames.
But even with that divine chakra, Ravana grabs the heavily injured Rama with his massive hands and crushes him violently against a stone wall. Rama falls to the ground in immense pain, fighting just to stay conscious while the 10-headed demon king laughs triumphantly above him. Crushed, bleeding, facing totally impossible odds. Will the prince survive to save his beloved Sita, or will the darkness of Lanka consume them all? To find out how this awe-inspiring, historic piece of animation resolves this breathtaking climax, you are definitely going to have to seek out the film itself. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next one.